Hey friend, this is episode number 563 of the And So podcast with Taylor Bradford. Let's get to it. Boss Girl Creative presents And So with Taylor Bradford, business and life musings from a successful serial entrepreneur. Each week, you will hear Taylor spill the tea on all things business, life, relationships, health, and everything in between. But don't worry, each week also includes a business nugget that will help you stay on course. And now a throwback to 3-year-old Taylor who inspired all of this.
And so.
Hello, welcome to this episode of the podcast. I'm Taylor Bradford, and I'm so grateful that you are here. Today, we have a juicy topic. I'm talking about content mining, and I'm talking about it in a way that may be a little bit different. And also, I started thinking about maybe that's not what other people call it, and I'm just calling it content mining. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's business nugget. This episode is brought to you by ManyChat. This is my robot that is automating things in my sleep. Actually, it's doing more than just in my sleep. It's doing it around the clock, and it is helping me spark conversation with people, and it's helping me sell. And it is something that is so incredibly powerful. And I think you should give it a try in your own business. And you can test it out for 14 days for free, their pro version. Go to bossgirlcreative.com/ManyChat. That's spelled ManyChat. And yes, you need to at least check it out. Try it out for free. See how you love it, because it has been a game changer for me. So let's find out what's been going on in my world. First of all, again, sick. Great. Awesome. The pollen right now is insane. And I woke up on Saturday with a raw throat. And I was like, not again. I literally just got over having a sinus infection just 3 weeks ago. And we're right back in the thick of allergies, and thankfully I slowed its roll down, but I'm still dealing with it every day since Saturday. So that's fun. Okay, let's talk about what's going on in my life. The garden. I finished pulling out all of the previous support that I used in the garden, the metal, and I pulled out all my irrigation. I got it all tilled up. I broke up the new area for the melons in the pumpkin patch. I got that all tilled in. Potatoes are all in their grow bags. I got companion plants in nursery pots next to them. I can actually add a companion plant into the grow bag, but I need to see where the shoots are going to come up before I do that. And if I have too many shoots, then at least I have companion plants in nursery pots right in between each grow bag. So that is going to help those potato plants out tremendously. And I went with French marigolds, alyssum, and basil. And I actually did 2 different French marigolds, and I did 3 different types of basil: a citrus basil, a cinnamon basil, and a traditional Italian basil. It's called Prospera. So that's good. The house, the backside completely has all of its metal sheets on the walls, but still has some final trim pieces that have to be added. So we're trucking right along, and they got started on the framing structure for the hanger door yesterday. And so that's exciting. It's still going slow, but it is what it is. I wasn't able to finish any books last week, but I'm in the thick of a few. So hopefully I can get those wrapped up. And the course. So I'm still holding at 8 sold, although I didn't check my email today, but 8 sold. I have officially hit, as of writing my notes, 8,616 followers. And I have 1.1 million views in the last 30 days on my account. So my top 4 in the last 30 days. I have a peppers video that has 195,000 views in the last 30 days. Squash video, 116,000. A seed tray mistake video with 96,000 views. And then beans video, 87,000 views in the last 30 days. And then it like drops to a video, I don't remember what it was, but it was like 33,000 views. So those are my top 4 in the last 30 days. It's killing it. But let me tell you, I finally like hit the Facebook algorithm, and I'm not even trying, which is great. I am putting my daily reel at 7 a.m. over on Facebook, just auto magically. And in the last week, I have gained almost 1,000 followers over on Facebook. So I'm at 1,102 followers over there. And I have 4 videos in the last week, not 30 days, last week, that have really taken off. And let me tell you, people on Facebook are a little bit more aggressive with their ninja keyboard status. Like, I had a lady really mad about the size of my cucumbers in my cucumber video, which actually didn't even, like I didn't even notate that one. I didn't get far enough back in my quick scroll to see what videos are popping off. But I was like, first of all, I have small hands. Second of all, I was zoomed in. Third of all, there was nothing wrong with that cucumber or the other cucumber I show in the video. But she said my cucumbers were too big, and like she had that opinion. So I just notated quickly 4 videos in the last week really popping off. I have a potato video, 42,000, okra video, 95,000, beans video, 101,000, and a squash video at 98,000. So those videos are very similar to what is doing well in the last 30 days over on Instagram, but this is happening within the last week. So that's nuts. All right, let's get into search bar confessions for the week. So I wanted to know, how do you use Facebook's activity log? You know, if you posted something a year ago on this day, it says, hey, here are your memories from a year ago, or, you know, on this day previously. And I was like, how do I find something from the past if it's not today? And so I Googled how to use activity log on Facebook. There is a mechanism in the Facebook app. I don't know how you do it on desktop, but in the Facebook app, you can search your feed by date. Did you know that? Yeah. All right. The next thing I Googled, how to stop Meta from showing a link preview. So I had the unfortunate experience of Samcart, which is my checkout software, is having an issue with Meta. And that is where my links are going, in Meta ads and Facebook and Instagram. Thankfully, ManyChat is a button and there's no preview to the link. So I don't have, on Instagram, I don't have this issue unless I manually give somebody the link or they tell me it's not working. And so, but on Facebook, I'm not using ManyChat over there. I am manually having to give people links, and it was giving me a forbidden preview. Do not go here. And that is worrisome because we already have trust issues on these platforms with people, and we don't need to make it harder for ourselves. So I was like, how do you stop it? And sometimes I know from past experience, when you drop a link in a group, you have the ability to, like, it'll auto preview and then there's a little X button, but that is not working on the app right now. So I had to find another workaround, and I had to test a few different workarounds, and one of them seems to be working because I still see people saying they're having this issue on Meta, well, on Facebook. But what I found to work is paste your link like you would normally do, and then put a period at the very end of your link. So mine, at the very end, it says stop garden pests. And then I put after the word pest, at the very end of the S, I put a period. And that's the workaround, at least right now. So it's no longer showing the forbidden issue. It is forcing Facebook to actually give the link and the preview of what the link actually is. And from what I read, this forces Meta to be like, don't check this link. I'm telling you to override your personal qualities. So how did I know this was a Meta issue through Samcart? Well, Facebook has a debugger tool, and you can run any link through its debugger tool. Just go to Google, type in Meta debugger tool. It'll take you to Meta development. And there it is. There is the debugger tool. So you can drop your link into their tool. And when I did that with my Samcart checkout link, it told me it was a Meta problem. And so I submitted tickets through Samcart and said, hey, this is a you problem, not a me problem, and I need somebody to fix it. And the last time I heard, which let me tell you, very disappointing for Samcart, is they wouldn't get back to me quickly. And so that I'm really frustrated and disappointed in them. If you have a site-wide issue that is now known, why are you not working faster? It is affecting everyone who is dropping links through Meta. And that's a lot of people, I would imagine. Okay. Also, I reintroduced myself to the Canned Spam Act of 2003 because I saw somebody saying, hey, can we collect people's email addresses and start emailing them? And I was like, absolutely not. You need permission. And turns out the Canned Spam Act does not tell you need written permission. It's kind of more implied that you need to ask. But I can remember in the OG blogging days, this was a no-no. And I think it became the no-no in the GDPR era and everything that has happened since then. And since GDPR affects everybody because you don't know where that person is in the world at the moment they are reading something you sent them. If they happen to be in Europe but live in the States, you are affected by GDPR. Anyways, I just basically said, Canned Spam Act affects you, and it's just a good practice to get somebody's permission, which just put it into your terms of service and your privacy policy that this is how you're going to use their data. Let's be on the up and up. Let's not be spammy about it. But then here's where it will really affect you if you don't get somebody's permission. In your send rates. If you get labeled spam by a lot of different people, you are going to be blacklisted as an email sender. And you don't want that. You don't want that. So let's just be on the up and up. And then finally, more of my rabbit hole of illegally emailing people. And yeah, so that wraps up this week's Search Bar Confessions. Let's dive into the business nugget because it's juicy. Content mining. So here's my rabbit hole. My Instagram auto hello through mini chat asks 2 questions when somebody follows me. It says, hi, I'm so glad you are on a garden journey or whatever. I have 2 questions to ask you. Number 1, what are you excited to grow this season? And number 2, what are you hoping to learn in this growing season? And then I say, if learning how to grow food organically and stopping pests organically is part of what you'd like to learn, oh, by the way, I have a new course, blah, 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 blah. But I ask 2 questions. That is content mining because I'm asking them to respond in their own words what they are excited to grow and what they are hoping to learn. The hoping to learn really is where I narrow in on content mining because I want to know what problems they are trying to overcome in their own gardens. So these help me in figuring out what I need to be teaching in somebody's actual words. So how can you content mine for yourself? How can you help yourself come up with content that other people are asking for? You can follow your favorites that are also in your space and go peek around what questions they're asking and what people are asking in response to the questions they are asking. So I was randomly scrolling my Facebook and I follow Michigan Gardener and everything that he is doing. And he recently posed this question. I was like, oh, this is juicy because there are 367 comments waiting for me to look through. And so I just went through probably about 10% of those comments and I just started copying into a note app what people were asking and looking for trends or commonalities in the questions they were asking. And what I find in a methodology like this is I find or found what is currently missing. What gaps are people missing out on that people are still asking for? That's the nitty-gritty. And I think that is what has helped my content on Instagram skyrocket. It's that nitty-gritty. So here are other ways that you can content mine. You can use ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, some kind of AI. You can go on Amazon and look at books that are already published and scroll through reviews to see if people are like, hey, I really wish this thing were in this book, etc. Go to Google and start typing in your keyword and see what it auto-suggests for you, or scroll down to where it also shows you other versions of what people are typing into Google. Go to YouTube, do the same thing that you just did on Google, but also click through 2 videos that relate to your keyword and then start reading the comments, seeing what people are responding and what questions they're asking. Go to Pinterest, see what pins are out there related to the thing that you talk about and see if people are leaving comments there. Find what people are asking. Usually, if one person asks, more people have a similar question. They're just too scared to ask it. So content mining gives you the opportunity to listen outward. It gives you the opportunity to respond to what people are already trying to figure out. And it allows you to be incredibly useful and become a resource for people. Because here's what's the best part about content mining like this. It's unfiltered language. It is what people are actually typing and asking. And it's not polished like traditional marketing language is. And it's showing you real confusion, real objections, and real friction. I mean, hello, gold mine. People seek solutions and clarity when they ask. Be their shortcut. Use their words, not yours. Okay, here's another great reason to be content mining. It helps you find hidden objections and tells you what's blocking their actions. It also helps you spot patterns in the questions being asked across platforms, and these patterns can be themes or content pillars for you to use in your own content creation. It also allows you to identify gaps in the content that has already been produced, which I previously mentioned, and you become the person that names everything in the messy middle. It also removes pressure to be trendy. It allows you to create content that's unresolved, and it allows you to build empathy. You start seeing how people are actually struggling, not how we assume they are. And this makes your content feel like I hear you instead of here's what you should do. Big difference. Content mining is just listening before you speak. You didn't need better ideas. You just need better listening. Think of it this way. Your audience is asking questions in rooms you are not even in yet. Talk about a mic drop. Stop guessing what they need and go find what they are already asking. And I'm going to leave you one more juicy piece of goodness. When you mine content externally, you stop second guessing if your topic is relevant. because people are already asking for it. So stop guessing what they need and go find what they're already asking. And I'm giving you permission to start content mining ASAP. Go do it. Go do it. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. I'm so grateful for you. Again, go test out ManyChat for yourself. Use the link bossgirlcreative.com/ManyChat. That's MANYCHAT. Test it out for 2 weeks, 14 days for free, the pro version. And I promise you, you will fall in love with it. I promise you. It's been life-giving for me, and it's sparking conversations and allowing me to content mine, which you should now be doing. All right. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of this week.
That's all.
And like my 3-year-old self said, that is all for this week. Friendly reminder to rate and review my show wherever you are listening. And last but not least, I'd love to hear from you. Leave me an audio message at bossgirlcreative.com/speak. I would love to hear your takeaways, ideas for upcoming episode topics, and your feedback. Thank you again for listening to this week's episode. And until next time, I hope you have a great rest of this one.